Can a person from the Jain community seek divorce under the provisions of Hindu Marriage Act 1955? The question seems to be very straightforward, but recently a family court from Madhya Pradesh has said no. In the case of X versus Y, the family court from Madhya Pradesh has said that the Jain community is recognized as a minority community, and as a minority community, the Hindu law is not applicable on them, and consequently, the provisions of Hindu Marriage Act cannot be applied. But the High Court has set aside this view, and not only it has set aside the order of the family court, there are certain important clarifications that were made by the Honorable High Court of Madhya Pradesh. Hello everyone and welcome to Live Law Academy. Let's start with the facts. In this case, the couple belonged to the Jain community and they got married in the year 2017. But later, they started living separately. And eventually, after living apart for good 6 years, they decided to part ways legally. And they filed a joint petition under the provisions of Section 13B of the Hindu Marriage Act, which allows for a divorce by mutual consent. But the family court returned their petition by stating that the Hindu Marriage Act is not applicable to them. The court said that Jain community, being a minority community, will not be regulated by the provisions of Hindu Marriage Act. And in fact, the court asked them to file a case under Section 7 of the Family Courts Act, which is a general provision. Now let's understand why the court felt that Hindu Marriage Act will not be applicable in this particular case. The court referred to a notification from 2014, which was issued by the Ministry of Minority Affairs. Under this notification, the Jain community has been officially recognized as a minority community. Now, making this notification as the foundation, the court differentiated between the customs and rituals which are followed by the Jain community with respect to the matters related to marriage with those of generally followed by the Hindu community. And on the basis of these differences, the court concluded that the Jain community will not be regulated by the Hindu law, and as such, the provisions of HMA, that is Hindu Marriage Act, will not be applicable to them. The High Court has set this aside. The High Court did not agree with this kind of reasoning, and in fact, the High Court put forward a very strong view. The High Court observed that instead of applying the clear-cut provisions of the law, the family court undertook a scholarly endeavor to interpret the rituals applicable to the parties, which was not at all necessary in this case. The court also observed that in the present fragmented society, the courts need to be extra cautious, and instead of focusing on the differences in rituals and practices, the emphasis should have been on implementing the clear-cut letter of the law. The High Court referred to Section 2(1)(b) of the Hindu Marriage Act, which explicitly provides that this act is also applicable to people belonging to Buddhism, Jainism, and as such, the Jains are very well included within the scope of the Hindu Marriage Act. The court also referred to explanation number 2 of Article 25 of our Constitution. It states that for the purposes of Article 25 2b of our Constitution, the term Hindu will be deemed to contain reference even to Jains, Sikhs, and Buddhists. But most importantly, the court held that there will be no effect of the fact that a particular community has been recognized as a minority community. And specifically referring to the 2014 notification, the High Court concluded that the notification itself has not amended or has done away with the provisions of the Hindu Marriage Act, the Section 2. There is no change in its application. So despite the fact that Jains were recognized as a minority community, the application of Hindu Marriage Act upon them has not stopped. So the court set aside the order of the family court. One more important clarification also came from the High Court. The High Court said that even if the family court had entertained genuine doubts regarding the application and scope of the Hindu Marriage Act vis-a-vis Jain community, the same should have been referred under section 113 of CPC, read with section number 10 of Family Courts Act to the Honorable High Court. But what the court actually did, it went into the customs and rituals itself. Also, the same was not required to be done because the parties themselves, they had submitted that their marriage was solemnized as per the Hindu rituals and ceremonies, and the form of marriage was never a question before the court. And as such, there was no reason for the family court to do what it actually did. Right? So please remember, despite the fact that a particular community has been recognized as a minority community, the application of the personal laws, including the Hindu Marriage Act, will not be affected. They will continue to apply. They will continue to regulate their matrimonial matters. Right? The law is very clear. Section 2 explicitly states that the word Hindu includes Jains, Buddhists, and Sikhs. The reason for such kind of provision is the word Hindu does not denote people from a particular religion or community. It is a comprehensive term which includes various categories of people. In fact, it includes the dissenters, the non-conformists, and even those who have completely repudiated Brahmanism. It even includes those religious sects and bodies which were developed during certain periods due to certain circumstances within the larger Hindu system. The examples are Brahmo Samaj, Arya Samaj, Pratna Samaj, etc. They also find place in Section 2 of Hindu Marriage Act. So, if you have liked this video, then just please like, share, and comment. And the Live Law Academy has announced its registrations for the upcoming batch starting from May. Now, Live Law Academy offers 2 courses for judiciary aspirants. The comprehensive JSCP 2.0, and then there is a lighter version, JSCP Lite. So please explore these courses, and in case you need any help, then feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much. I'll see you in another informative video regarding the subjects and topics related to judicial services. Take care.